I don't like my brand like Lil Jon. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to turn down for anything.
Yeah, see, my brain's always in Lil Jon, but
Is
like,
it?
no learning's happening. no learning's happening.
I can
It's
just see
like,
you.
what?
Does Cult Comedy have a theme?
Well, we used to do it at a gallery.
Okay.
And so we would do it in an art gallery. So before people would come and they would get like, we'd have them come like 30, 45 minutes before. And the gallery would always change with what they would showcase, their artist. And so we even would do like our marketing would be centered around whatever artist was, like and a lot of times had clothing with it.
Love that.
And so like sometimes like when we would first do like our promo pictures and we kind of had where people could come and like take pictures with like someone that was a photographer and they would wear like one of the shirts or one of the outfits. And then we had imagined like that we would maybe have a rack and then someone could take like one item and wear it up on stage, but we haven't moved in that direction.
So now you're just a stand-up show.
Well, totally. But we kind of like pretty much
so
would
are
do
we.
the show. But Rita, whenever we're in the meeting, was like, I want to have the patio be able to like have a liquor license and all that stuff. So like in the
She walked us through all of that.
Yeah, she was like, I would love to actually like do Cult the way you guys had originally done and have like stuff out in the front, which I would love to have something like that because I want to like get sponsors. So I would like to have like be able to like find a way to get sponsorships and things like that before would be fun.
I feel like
and photos. I love photos. I'm obsessed. Like
Are
my
you?
favorite part of putting on a show.
I saw you at a photographer when I ran into you.
I'm like this. I'm psycho on that show. Like I will go up to every single comic, be like, you need to go upstairs and get your individual pictures somewhere.
I love it.
It has to happen.
I love it. I am. Yeah. I mean, I had Matt Mazisco on the pod. I'm a Mazisco fanatic,
Yes.
and I invite him to everything I do.
It's the best. That's what you got to do.
It's amazing. By the way, before we keep going, we should talk about the tea real fast.
Yes.
For the folks that listen, they sleep with us at home.
I love this.
We are drinking Kaneju Farm roasted rice tea.
It's delicious.
I know. I love it. It's so,
really
so good. For those sleeping at home, 180 degrees, 3 minutes. This does all the work for you. It's great.
This is very nice.
I'm-
It's delicate too.
I know,
A
right?
little delicate.
It is. I love toasted rice teas. So for me, or in this case, roasted rice.
Roasted.
You've got to have a branding. That's what it is. It's branding.
Yes, 100%. That's all it is.
I'm working on my own branding. I don't know what it is.
It's exhausting. I mean, I think you've already nailed it. You're the tea guy. I've never seen someone know so much about tea. I was like, oh, I thought I just fucking steeped. You were like, oxidization, da-da-da-da. I was like, oh my God.
You know, I don't know if it works on stage. Like I had a guy come up to me after a show I was doing in San Diego. And he goes, dude, love that set. Love like the beta male energy. And I was like,
You're like, that was not my brand.
oh, well, literally, he walked away before I could respond. And I just did this. I was like,
And you handled it real beta. You were like, all right.
yeah, I said, you know what I'm going to do? Go home and think a lot about that.
I'm going to go home and think of all the things I'm going to say to you that I can't say now.
That I'm going to see you next time in 10 years.
Yeah,
I
next
don't know
time
your
someone
name.
says that, I'm going to be ready for the comment.
100%. Yeah. Well, the jerk store ran out of you. I was ready. Yeah, no, he said that. And then another comic at the club came up to me and goes, dude, cool, beta male. And I was like, thinking, like, he was being genuine. He thought I was going to think that was a cool label.
Yeah.
I was like, no.
You're like, I don't like this.
Can I not be that? I don't want to be alpha.
My period vibes are beta.
Your period vibes?
Yeah, women, like, we pick up on other people's vibes. And, like, sometimes you're, like, a period starter or, like, someone can ignite your period, and I'm a beta. So, like, anytime I'm around any other chicks, like, I'll always get there, like, flow.
Aligning cycles.
Yes, my cycle will always align. It's so annoying. I'm like, oh, my God, I hate that my fucking period is beta as fuck.
But, like, but wait, I'm fascinated by this. Isn't there like a greater majority of women that align and there's only very few that are able to like alpha their way into the scene?
I don't know. I mean, you know what? I've only lived the world of a beta vibe, so I don't know. I don't know these little bitches, these alpha bitches
When
roll
did you
through.
learn this? You're just like...
Because it would happen, like I'd start hanging out with somebody and I'd be like, I swear, like my period was supposed to start, and then they'll be like PMSing, and then I start to PMS, and I'm like, oh, this bitch. And sometimes you like when it's like, sometimes you can align it and just as you get used to it, and then it fucking changes.
Do you ever have a roommate?
Yeah, I used to have a roommate. We would always be on the same.
I was going to say, you got to be exactly the same.
Always.
I feel like, and please feel free to roll your eyes and be like, absolutely not, I don't agree with you, because I'm open to that. I feel like I go through a myriad, a male period, and where I just get a little grumps.
Oh my God, I love this. This is beta male.
I know. Listen, the old beta male with his male period. I get
What did you call it? A myriad?
a myriad. It's my man. It's my male period, and I think there are like 3 or 4 days. I have a short cycle.
Yes,
3 or
yes,
4
very
days.
short, very short.
I know.
Lucky
Thank
man.
heavens. Sometimes I would say my grumps get heavy flow, but
Yes.
I would say 3 to 4 days I get grumpy, and I will joke with Jess about it, and I feel like these days when she's PMSing, we align. I'm a little grumpy.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I don't
Do
know.
you get random food cravings too?
Can I tell you something? This is the God's
Do you
honest
get
truth.
a little bloated?
No,
Your titties hurt a little bit?
Honestly, so I wasn't going to tell you this. Yeah, no, I get definitely my breast tissue starts hurting. No, I'm not like I like food. I don't want to steer you.
Yeah.
I like food.
Yeah.
But like I'm not someone who ever is just like, ugh, I need blank.
Yes.
Food isn't my thing. Sleep is my thing.
Oh, that's good though. That's good. That's healthier. And
Is
I
it?
think tea's your thing too.
Die hard
Like
tea
I think
drinker.
I think that food isn't as important because you're just like you're fucking steeping.
It's my 3rd cup today.
It's good for you too.
You know, I wonder if it's good in moderation or good in the amount that I drink. I don't know.
My mom went through a phase where she got obsessed with green tea. My mom's a little OCD, so she'll like get obsessed with things and like just
Okay.
go on a whole thing about it. And she did like obsessed about green tea and all the benefits that green
would
tea
love
had.
your mother, yeah.
And then she like was even heavy more into research, and she started to see that like you had to really get like the leaf or whatever to really get like the perfect amount. So she was drinking like the purest form of green tea that you could get, and then it turned out she was allergic to it.
No, that can't be
And
true.
she was like, I'll never stay young. I don't know how I'll be staying young anymore. I was like, well, Botox. But
yeah,
you
I
know.
was going to say that's LA has a lot of that.
She was so bummed. And I never, for like literally probably like 4 months, it was just green tea this, green tea that. And then she had like a legit, where like her throat closed.
I know, but like I'm like really sad.
I know it was a sad time.
This is a weird comment. Your mother I know she's not Jewish, but man, she sounds Jewish.
She did marry a Jewish man.
Did she really?
Yeah, she
Wait,
did.
are you?
She now like my mom thinks she's Jewish, like 100%.
I'm telling you, it gets
she
in your
thinks
system.
She's like, they're the chosen people.
Oh, well, that I'm not talking about any of that.
I
now.
know she'll always say that.
It's funny. Jess, who I was telling you
Yeah.
about, like her family is Christian.
Yeah.
And one time Jess was annoyed with her mother.
Yeah.
And her mother and I get along very well. Like she's an absolutely lovely woman. I get along well with her dad too, but like me
Yeah.
and her mother get along really well. And Jess was annoyed with her mom. And we're over at her place. And at one point, just as like a way to get back at her mother, Jess goes, "Hey mom, according to the Bible, you believe in Josh is going to hell." And I was like, "Why would you do that? Why? Why do you do that?" And she goes, "That is not true. They're chosen people."
That's what my mom will say.
I'm like, what is going on right
They
now?
met on Christian Mingle though, which is like such a mindfuck.
Wait a minute. This gentleman who is just stepdad?
Messianic is what he says he is.
What? I don't know what that is.
I guess you're still Jewish, but you believe that Jesus, did some things.
Isn't that like, is that,
I don't know if-
everyone who's listening is going to hate me. Is that like the Jews for Jesus movement?
Yes, kind of thing like that.
Okay.
I think that's what it is.
I've heard of that.
I think that's kind of, I don't really know all the things, but I just remember
know
like when
none
my
of the
mom met
things.
him, she was like, it's not strange that he was on Christian Mingle. He's messianic.
and you're like, yeah. Oh, why didn't you say that? Obviously.
I was like, Mom, I don't care. We grew up Christian Scientists. So like I grew up my whole life being told I was going to hell. So I was like,
We're all
all
going to
right,
hell."
guys, calm down.
What's the
My
crux?
God's cool.
Your God's cool.
He lets everybody in.
What's the crux of Christian Science?
You don't take medicine, you just pray.
Oh, I thought that was Jehovah's Witnesses.
No, there's definitely like different branches for sure.
Okay.
But there is Christian Science. Like they have a separate book and it's like the teachings of Mary Baker Eddy. And so there's like a whole thing.
Are you still religious?
No, I'm definitely like spiritual and I believe
Sure.
in God and I
Sure.
identify as Christian, but I'm not like hardcore where I'm like, everyone else is burning in hell. Like I don't believe that to any
You don't
degree.
give that energy
I
to
don't
me?
give that energy. I don't give that, but I'm definitely like, I believe in God for sure.
I find it so frustrating because it's interesting. I have a joke that I tell about how, and I'm not gonna like tell it because that's so awkward.
Do
but
it.
I would never
Do it.
I can't.
Like, let me tell you this.
You can do it. No, I tell a joke about how Jess's family tried to make me feel at home for Christmas the first year I went because I'm Jewish.
Yeah.
And
wait, you're Jewish?
Yeah, I know. Shocker. You know what's funny? In the joke, I go, spoiler alert, I'm a Jew. But yeah, they were trying to make me feel at home. And because of that, because I tell that joke fairly often, I end up occasionally with crowd interactions that focus on me being Jewish because for some odd reason, me saying I'm Jewish like elicits a lot of response.
Yeah.
Which is insane in 2023. But the greater point I'm making is like, I find it's like people put me in that box when they're like, oh, I know, like, okay, I had like a parameter of where I didn't know where I wanted to put this guy, but now I know he's Jewish. I'm like, I want to put him in this box here. And I feel like in your case, for example, like, I think you're your own box, right? Like, you may identify as Christian, but you have your own beliefs that are layered and interesting and complex, like a good dessert. It's got a bunch of different flavors in it.
100%. But
like people are just like, oh, what box can I put Laurie in? Oh, she identifies as a Christian. Forget all the nuance. I just want to put her in that box.
Yeah. Yeah, but we're just obsessed with categorizing.
Why?
Because we've been categorizing. That was how we learned for the longest time.
Oh, wait, actually, I think that's true.
Yeah, like we were forced for so long to understand patterns and like whatever's the easiest way to learn everything. So I feel like, I feel like religion and everything like that is so much more complex than you say nuance too.
Yeah.
Right. Very much so.
What I always tell people is, and I think I've said this on the pod before, and if I have and people have heard this before, dig it. It's a fun phrase. I often say that I'm not smart enough or arrogant enough for that matter to think I know what the answers of the universe are, but I am smart enough to not trust someone who says they do.
Yeah, that's a very good point. That's a strong point.
Someone's like, do you believe in God? And I always go, I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Who knows?
I'm not sure.
They're like, well, you have to know. I'm like, I don't have to know.
It depends on the day.
Yeah.
Depends on the day.
Here's my feeling. If there is a God, I hope they're merciful. If there isn't a God, well, that's a bummer for the people who think there is one. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's where my entire belief system ends.
Yeah.
I believe in ice cream. I don't know. Is that a belief system?
Real. That's real.
Do you eat ice cream?
I love ice cream. I love gelato, actually. Gelato's my favorite.
Okay, so I just want to be clear. You are like a gelato girly. If I said, do you want to go get ice cream, you would say, Ken, instead we go get gelato.
Yeah, I would be like, I would casually suggest, oh my God, there's this great spot.
Do you? Okay.
Yes, I already know what you're going to say.
Do you? I'm trying to remember, and I apologize. And we don't have to talk about this if you don't want to. Are you in a relationship?
No.
Okay. Recently have you been in a relationship?
I've been in situationships and dating.
Okay. Do you do that in a way that the people you're dating don't realize that you are very slightly steering where they're like, let's get ice cream. And you're like, oh, I would love that. You know what else we could do? If that's in the mood, you know what we could do? There's this gelato. We should go to this gelato place, and they don't even know what you just did.
Yeah. Or I'll just be like, let's go to this spot, and then he'll show like.
Oh, and then you show up, and he didn't even know it was an ice cream.
Well, yeah. Gelato's ice cream. They're all kind of similar. I would ask like, what's the mood? What do you want? I would probably go with the flow. It depends on how difficult I want to be too.
Do you go? Are you a go with the flower? I love you just looked at Lucas. You're like, what?
It depends. It depends on my mood and everything like that, and how much I really like the person. If I'm on the fence about if I like them, I tend to sometimes be difficult. That's
true, because my experience with you, and obviously I'm just one person, has been that you're like pretty go with the flow. Like you're pretty fun. You kind of just like you vibe where the vibe is.
Yes.
But I could also see if you said to me right now, like if I'm with a guy, like, and I don't know if he's confident in what he's doing, I'm calling the shots and I'm laying it down. I'd be like, yeah, I respect that. I could see
I think if the guy is like, it depends on the person. I'm like, not that I'm like a major, like adaptable type of but
you're not adaptable.
I have elements of adaptability. If I'm with someone who is like very, very like has a strong personality, then I will like take a little bit more of not necessarily the backseat, but I'll passenger it.
I like that.
I'll passenger it. If someone's very specific and intentional, then I will. But if I sense that someone like is kind of just like not fucking sure, then I'm like, okay, then like we're gonna go here and this is what we're gonna do.
But
if you're like, if you come at me like alpha, like we're gonna go here at this time, like I will be there and I will like make it work. But if it's kind of like. But also, I don't know what I want, so like I'm different every day.
I'm telling you,
I'm so different. And if I just don't like the place, if it sounds good and I Yelp it and it looks delicious, I'll go.
Are you a Yelper?
Oh yeah. I don't comment or anything, and I don't even really read reviews. I just look at the pictures. like
I
a
don't use
smart
Yelp.
little dyslexic girl. I just go for the pictures.
I don't, here's what I think, as genuinely as like a person, I don't know that I'm like alpha or beta or anything. What I will say is Jess has made me aware that apparently I have opinions on everything, which I did not know. She'll be like, smallest thing, could be anything. I could talk about Starburst and you will make an impassioned case about which one's the best. And I was like, well, that's because there is a best Starburst. And the best Starburst, traditionally speaking, is pink. However, the undercover slept on Starburst is orange.
Yeah, I could see that. That's my second.
I thought you were going to go red.
It used to be red for me, and
Yeah.
now it's not so much. As I've gotten older, I've warmed up to the orange one.
The worst moment of my life, without question.
Yeah.
Listen, people have come and go, people have died, but when I stopped eating meat about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And when I found out I couldn't eat Starburst anymore, it was the only reason that I was like, maybe I should go back to eating meat.
Like, you're like, I need that Starburst. I can't even. I definitely have seen. I've definitely seen a vegan eat Starburst recently.
Oh no, that's a no-no.
Should I tell her?
No.
Should
Why?
I tell her?
Why would you tell her?
It's like it's something. Is it something with the gut, like making
Gelatin.
it? Oh, the gelatin.
Yeah. It's not veg friendly, but here's.
But it's got. I guess it's got some collagen in there. Then. Huh?
Oh, my.
Good way to look at it like
Yeah,
that.
sure. You can flip it.
Some collagen.
Makes your skin healthy.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's like. Sometimes I wonder when I find something out. Okay, there was this like pie that I had.
Yeah.
In LA, and I thought it was very good. Okay, there are actually two different pie places this happened at that I both thought were good. One of the pies I found out, honestly, I'm not exaggerating, 4 years after I ate it, because it's a famous pie place in LA.
Yeah.
I'll call them out. They're Apple Pan. It's a famous pie place and burger place. I found out they use lard in the crust. Now, it's 4 years later. What am I going to travel back in time and be like, Josh, don't eat that pie?
Don't you dare.
Right, but I'm also like,
you're like, makes sense why I was shitting my pants.
yeah. Well, I had some tummy troubles. I said stomach and tummy.
I had some stomach troubles.
I had some stomach trubs. Yeah, I sound like a child. No, but I wonder if someone enjoyed it. I didn't love that pie. But like if someone did, for example, your friend who loves Starburst is like, can't we just like maybe let them enjoy it? Do we need to tell them?
Yeah, I know. I know.
Do we just let them love it?
It's so hard.
Life's too short.
It's tough. It's a tough one.
I know.
But then it's like a conviction, and then you're kind of like, fuck.
Well, that's why
Conviction.
it's funny. I'm not practicing what I preach, because I always tell Jess and my friends know, like, I would like to know, is there gelatin in here? Is there animal product in here? Like, Jess had a favorite Mexican place where she grew up, and her family wanted to take me there for lunch. We went there, and I was like, oh, I think I'm just gonna get like veggie fajitas and whatever. And I was like, oh, I have a quick question, and I don't remember who it was at the table. It was like, really, you think there was meat in veggie fajitas? And I was like, hold on. I was like, hey, do you use any pork or pork fat or byproduct in your beans? And they were like, oh yeah. And I was like, cool. Do you use chicken broth in your rice? And they were like, yes, we do. I was like, excellent. So like, hold the rice and the beans. I'll just have the sauteed vegetables. Thanks.
And they probably like put fat somewhere in there too.
Probably
use butter.
But at that, I can eat butter.
You can eat butter?
Yeah, I'm veg, not vegan. So I'll eat butter and cheese.
Okay.
I was like, melt all the cheese on it that you want.
Give me all the cheese.
Well, I love cheese.
All the cheese.
Give me a good sharp cheddar, please.
I love a good sharp cheddar. I think if it's like on like a really crazy spectrum of smelly, and
I see.
like if it looks blue cheese, I'm cool with. But like if it
like
looks
blue cheese,
anything more extreme and more smelly or more, like I might be a little weary of it. But I don't know.
I always ask people this, which is just like, and this ties to conversations we're having. Let's say you find a guy who is super cute, okay? I'm talking like you are flirting with this guy and you're like, I don't think I've flirted with this cute guy in 6 months. Okay, like we're talking
10
stud.
out of 10.
10 out of 10. Now, it just so happens that you meet this man at a cheese bar, and in front of him is his favorite cheese. And let me tell you something. You're sitting next to him. You're not in his space. You're sitting next to him. You can smell that cheese.
Yeah.
And it is stinky. And he says to you, oh, this is my absolute favorite cheese. I love this so much. Do you want to try a little bite? Are you biting it?
Yeah.
You are.
Yeah.
We all
probably.
are, aren't
Yeah,
we?
Yeah.
We
I'm
are.
gonna have some of the cheese.
Because what do you do?
I'm gonna try it, and then I'll be like, you know what? I probably need a glass of wine.
I need to wash this down with like a full-bodied red.
I need a chaser for this cheese. That's just I have a tough time eating something that smells weird.
Yeah, I do too. Have you ever heard of durian?
Yes.
So apparently it's like one of the most foul smelling things in the world. Like you're not allowed to bring it on public transport in certain countries. I kind of want to try it.
See, I don't.
Here's the thing though, it doesn't taste the way it smells. Apparently it smells like gym locker room, but it tastes good.
I've heard that about jackfruit.
I don't love jackfruit.
Yeah, I've heard jackfruit has like a scent to it.
I love that. I bet that whisper was really good for people listening.
I don't like it.
Yeah, I just turned it into an what is it? An ASMR?
Yeah.
I don't love jackfruit.
When I get really high and I like can't get food to my food Uber to me or something, it's too late. I'll watch like ASMR videos of people eating.
Oh my God. So it's like a mukbang ASMR.
Yeah, and they're just like,
that would just make me hungrier. I can't watch that.
I love it sometimes.
Here's my question though. So your categories for late night watch, because we all have categories for late night watching. And I mean, I've said this on the pod before. My TikTok algorithm, I swear to God, serves me at least one video a day of rabbits eating fruit. So like, I get it.
Oh my God, it's so cute.
Honestly, they're adorable.
If I'm dating somebody, all my TikTok shows me is just like astrology shit.
Are you big on astrology?
I'm not really, but like,
but
I go through waves.
Are.
You can always tell like where I'm at on my depression scale by how much I'm into astrology. If I'm like feeling real depressed, I'm like heavy into it, like trying to get out of it.
Wait, well, what is your? I'm
an
Aries.
Aries. I'm an Aries.
Which puts
sun.
your birthday at
March.
Oh, that's
March
good.
25th.
That's a good birthday.
It's a solid birthday.
Yeah.
When's yours?
Mine's November 20th.
Oh, so then
It just passed.
What are you?
Scorpio.
Scorpios are fun.
As far as I'm aware, I
Scorpios
don't
are
know
fun.
a ton.
Scorpios are fun.
But I feel
they're
like
fun until they're not.
You're right. Every time someone posts one of those things where it's like characters from the Hunger Games as astrological signs, or here's a bunch of weird looking fruit as astrological signs. Scorpio's always like the one that's just like, oh, it's mean.
It's menacing.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm not menacing. I'm very friendly.
I'm sweet. I'm nice. I'm kind.
I'm a beta.
I like tea.
I do like cheese.
Scorpios don't like tea. I'm just kidding.
Oh, is that? Then you know what? I'm disowning my Scorpio
You're on the
nature.
cusp.
I actually am on the cusp. Yeah. I am. Yeah. Did you ever feel like as you got older, because 11, you were probably not dating a boatload.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe you were. At 11, I was playing video games.
I was trying. I was like,
you were what?
I was a little boy crazy, but then not.
Oh, okay. I respect.
Yeah.
I was girl crazy, I think, at 11, where I was just like, I don't want to brag, but Benny's my girlfriend. And like 3 days later, I'd be like,
things are
broke
done.
Up. It was really intense.
It was love.
I gave her a box of her stuff. She gave me a box of mine. We moved out. We severed our lease. Like, it was a big deal.
Literally the lease. It was tough. We
That was
almost
a hard
stayed
thing.
together for the lease.
We weren't technically allowed to break it. They cut me a little slack.
My shortest relationship back in the day at that time was 3 hours.
Really?
Yeah.
What did he do at the 3 hour mark?
Well, it was back when we were like in 5th grade and
Obviously,
and my friend
time.
had dated him too at one point, and she was like, you can totally date him, it's totally fine. I was like, no, it's not. And then she's like, do it. And I was like, okay, fine, I'll do it. And then like 3 hours later, I was like, I can't do this, I feel guilty. His name was Jeremy Wooten.
I always liked Jeremy. I don't want to take sides, but I was always a big Jeremy fan.
Yeah, Jeremy's always, for some reason growing up, I was like, Jeremy's a hot name.
It's a great name.
Jeremy's a hot name.
It's no Josh, but like Jeremy is definitely a
Josh
vibe.
Josh is a hot name too, though. Josh is a hot name.
Do you prefer Josh or Joshua?
Every time I hear Joshua, I think of Friends.
Yeah.
Joshua.
Yeah, so I never went by Joshua, and then not even my parents called me it, because at a very young age, I was Josh or Jay or Jaybird or JJ. Yes. Okay, one of my best friends in the whole world, shouting him out, Andrew Avron, love him to death. We have called him Avron for our entire lives.
Yeah,
literally. If someone said Andrew, I'd be like, who?
Yeah,
I
have no clue.
No, I wouldn't know that they're talking about. Everyone calls him Avron. His now wife also met him as Avron and also calls him Avron. And it made me think to myself, like, I wonder how many people, like, even have a spouse who doesn't use their given name.
Oh, I feel like there's a lot.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like there's a good amount that like, don't really go by their given name.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But like a last name? Like if someone were calling you Douglas.
Yeah.
But it's a little harder because Douglas actually is a first name.
I have a friend of mine, I call her, like, she's married and everything, but I still call her by, like, her her maiden name.
If you don't mind sharing it, what is the name?
Jones.
Oh, that's
And
fun.
it's like, and she's
What
Jones.
up, Jones?
She's forever Jones.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like always Jones.
I use Jones as a verb a lot.
Yeah. Oh, like you're Jonesing?
I'm Jonesing.
He's Jonesing. Jonesing for that tea.
Yeah. Well, I often say like I'm Jonesing for some pasta, but like or ice cream.
I've been jonesing for some pasta. I've been having endless pasta recently.
Are you ready for the first segment?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, the first segment is called the Newly Friend game. It's like the Newlywed Game, but we're friends. The problem with a guest like you, I'm going to be honest, is that I could go 50,000 different directions with my question. Sometimes, like, I have people who I'm like, oh, they have one thing that they do.
Yeah.
And that's kind of it. You have like 1,000 things. And so I almost want to pull out and do something like ask a question. I've never done this just based on the day that we've both had.
Yeah.
Because we texted a little bit about the weather earlier.
Yes.
So here's my question for you. And don't tell me, you're going to write it down. And I'm going to write down what I think your answer is. I just yell
everything out. He's like, shut the fuck up.
No, I tell this to all my guests because I've had multiple people say it out loud. So don't say it out loud. But what is your favorite rainy day activity? Flip your board on 3. 1, 2, 3, flip. Ooh, cooking and movies. I forgot about
getting high. High is a given.
I wrote high, order in, watch TV.
Yeah, pretty close.
What do you cook? I didn't know you cook.
I love cooking.
Are you serious?
I love to cook.
What do you cook?
My favorite thing in the world to cook is Chilean sea bass. That's like my shit.
How did it take this long for that to come up? So I specialize in cooking fish. But I feel like I want your Chilean sea bass.
Yes.
How do you make it?
I do it on a cast iron.
Okay, so I
do a cast iron.
understand I need one.
Yeah,
and
it's so good.
It's gonna upset people, and I know that. I bought a cast iron, and it's a cheap one. It wasn't too expensive. It was like $35-$40, like real cheap, just to see what the story was. I seasoned it just as they suggested. Mm-hmm. And then I looked up a bunch of videos, and everyone was like, anything that says that you can't actually wash with soap and water is bullshit. You can. And I was like, oh. So then I did it and rusted the entire thing and then threw it out. Yeah.
It's hard to clean. Like I told you, my mom's OCD. So like during COVID time frame, I stayed with her.
Oh my God.
And I got I went comedy wasn't doing anything. Nothing was happening. And I'd always wanted to make my mom a cookbook for her. And so at the time I really committed. And so I made videos of it. And I was like, maybe I'll make a cookbook. And I did videos of all the different things that I made. And then I never did anything with it.
Why?
I need to just do stuff with it. Cause I was very committed to it. And then I was like, oh, I have to write out the recipes. I'm good.
How these are filmed in a way that you can watch them. It's not
yeah, it's it would be like these TikTok videos that I watch late at night of people making food. It's
why are you not posting individual recipes on TikTok?
I need to, because I get annoyed if I don't get if I feel like I don't get enough views, then I'm just fuck everything.
But you already filmed it.
Anything.
You already filmed it.
I have so many. It's insane.
Over
I probably have about 20.
20?
Yeah.
And you haven't posted one.
I posted a couple. I even made a food Instagram.
Incredible.
Most delectable. And then
wait, I'm sorry. You got the handle most delectable?
Yes.
How?
God.
You know what? I wasn't sure. I was on the fence earlier. I now believe.
Is he real?
Yeah, he's got to be.
He's real for that. But yeah, no. Yeah. And then I posted. I can't remember. I was on a kick during Super Bowl time frame. I got into a chili cheesesteak kind of thing, and then I made a chili cheesesteak pizza.
What? Did you make the pizza from scratch?
Yeah.
You didn't buy pre-made pizza crust?
No. I did I got the what is it called? 00 flour.
Yeah.
I even got the pizza stone. I was unemployed at this time. It was delicious. It was, but I was very. I would take my Adderall and get very serious about making. My stepdad was so annoyed because I'd be cooking in there and I'd be taking so long. I'd be taking pictures. He's like, my blood sugar.
He's like, just give me the food.
Just give me the fucking food.
I was literally just listening to a podcast about how we've all how our society has just casually taken speed for 20 years. Mm-hmm. And Adderall was in that list, and I was just it sounds really fun.
I got on Ritalin when I was 6.
That's
I
crazy.
Made my mom low key change religions because she was a Christian Scientist.
You're hey, I get that you say no meds. I literally can't. I can't finish a sentence. And
I can't.
she's like, so that pause is concerning to me.
Yeah, she was like, prayers won't fix this one. this
Prayers won't fix this one. That should be a bumper sticker. Prayers won't fix this one.
Prayers won't fix this one. But they didn't know for a long time. So they were like, oh my God, the prayers worked. They were like, she's a prodigy.
And you're like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And then like it wears off. I'm like,
Yeah. Then you're like bouncing around the room. They're like, okay, who stopped
they're
praying?
like, oh my God, someone throw another prayer.
Yeah. They're like, Robert, I see you in the back. You stopped praying.
But it's true though. It's speed. I didn't realize for the longest time because I took it for so long.
Of
and then in
course.
college, everyone was like, can I get some? And I'm like, it's really not that fun. It like makes you tired at the end and like hurts your neck. It like puts you in a terrible mood. Because if you take it and you actually need it, it like mellows you, calms you down. It makes you focus. You almost like feel fucking annoyed if someone bugs you. Oh. Like you get almost in like, I know this is not the same thing. Like there's like K-holes or whatever. It's like an A-hole. Like it's like an Adderall hole. Like you're just like in it. And I would just get frustrated, but then people would be doing lines of it and then like raging all night. And I was like, oh wow, I was like, Mom, do you know that people like snort this shit?
And she was like, honey, I thought that's what you were doing. You're like, no, it's not what I do.
She took it and our house was like, my mom started taking our house was never dirty.
Oh my God. That's what they say about meth.
Yeah. And it'll do it. It'll get it done.
Okay, let's do mine and then
okay, four more questions.
Oh my God, please. Oh, are you talking about me or you?
What's the next one?
Oh no, this one's, we do the same question for me and that's the whole thing.
Yeah, so
what is my favorite rainy day activity? Don't say it out loud, write it down. Let's see what you're going to guess for me. And I'm trying to think about what I want to say. 1, 2, 3, flip.
Oh no!
Oh, you said making tea. Great guess.
I was just sticking to the
I
brand.
do that I do that on rainy days. But I love to go to an Asian restaurant. Could be Chinese, Thai, Japanese, whatever.
Any
of them. And then I like to go see a movie in theaters.
Ooh, that's a nice rainy day activity.
Love movies in theaters. Like,
oh my gosh,
I love seeing movies in theaters anytime.
It's really good. I don't do it very often anymore.
Wait, so why don't you see movies anymore?
I just haven't seen one in forever. And I will say too, the thing, like I feel like I work during the day most of the time.
What do you do?
I do social media for a law firm and a lawyer.
No.
Yes, I actually just got nominated for 2 golden gavels.
What is a golden gavel?
Advertising award for lawyers.
That's amazing.
I know.
Congratulations.
I'm excited. I'm like, even though it's not what I want to do with my life forever, but I'm like, now I can be like, yo, to my stepdad, like I am using my major and I have the potential to be award winning. So
what are the 2 nominations?
They're for best social media.
Love it. Deserved.
For my law.
I'll vote. Can I vote?
Yeah. I don't even know what the voting process is, but let's
send me a link.
And then there's another one that's best social media entertainment.
This is a dumb question. How the hell are you able to make law firms fun?
It's fun.
I
swear it's fun. So
and
it's
do they
fun.
just give you free reign? They're like, hey, make whatever you want, just make it good.
Pretty much. Like the piece that's nominated and stuff is very like specific. But it's fun.
Can you give us like a teeny bit, just a little bit?
I mean, it's definitely not one that like came straight from my own brain. It's one of those stitches where it's like they had a network coming out.
Oh.
So it basically kind of like a podcast channel on like Apple channel for like they like are basically accumulating a bunch of different like lawyer podcasts into one like channel.
That's cool.
Yes, it's great.
Should I be listening to lawyer podcasts? I don't.
I've been listening to so many. He has 2, and I like help move them all along. And I'm hearing so much stuff.
Here's my fear sometimes when I'm listening to podcasts, and this is going to be. I'm going to get so much hate for this. I don't want to learn too much. I want to learn a little.
Yeah,
but
totally.
I don't want to learn too much.
Yes, and there's like definitely. I feel like if you're not into law, then it's kind of one of those things where you're like.
Yeah, like I want my brain twerking. I don't want it working.
Yes, 100%, and I feel you on that.
Yeah, I want my brain doing a little Missy Elliott.
Yeah, you don't want to be sitting doing notes.
Yeah, but I also I like my brain Missy Elliott. I don't like my brain like Lil Jon. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to turn down for anything.
Yeah, see, my brain's always in Lil Jon, but
is it?
No learning's happening. no learning's happening.
I can just see
like,
you.
What?
I can see you with the doctor. He's like, so Laurie, since last time we saw you, and you're like, okay. And he's like, what are you saying? I'm trying to tell you that we think that you have ADD. And you're like, huh? He's like, yeah, okay, that's right.
There's some people that talk very quietly though. And I'm kind of like.
It is my pet peeve.
I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you're saying.
I've said this on the pod before, but I don't give a crap. It bears repeating. Some people don't know how to project.
Yeah.
And I do.
Yeah.
So like, if I'm in the bathroom washing my hands, which is water hitting presumably porcelain or metal if you're in a commercial bathroom, whatever, or our guest bathroom, wherever you are, Jess thinks that she can talk at this volume that I'm talking to you at while I'm washing my hands. And then she'll get upset when I say what? And I'm like, there's water running, hitting metal. I need you to project.
Literally.
Doesn't
It's
happen.
a must.
Doesn't happen.
I'm good at projecting. Sometimes I don't enunciate fully. Sometimes I can enunciate.
I'm trying to think if I've noticed anything in this conversation. I feel like you've enunciated rather well.
Yeah. I when I first started stand-up, sometimes I would listen back and I'd be like, oh, bitch, you need to enunciate.
I call it Ariana Grandeing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Peanut butter mouth. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've not noticed that about your stand-up. I heard a fair bit of it. It never like resonates with me that like, oh, Laurie doesn't enunciate. I don't know.
I think I've gotten better at it.
That's a weird.
Yeah, it's something I worked on for a while, just making sure.
I feel like I would have clocked it.
Yeah.
What I will say is that I will sometimes notice when people are on stage, I will catch. It's funny because Jamie does a show about this.
Yes.
I'll catch people's tics a little bit.
Yes.
But yeah, yours I never caught.
That
what
show
was yours for that show?
fun. Swearing.
Really?
Yeah.
That feels unfair.
Yeah. I swear a good amount. But I also too, I listened back to that set and I was like, whoa, I should have I think that it might be, because I was doing a lot of, you know what I mean? I was like, whoa.
I have those nights.
I'm like, yeah, they know what you mean, bitch.
I have nights where I'll like hit a line and like, and then I'll keep going and I'm like, shut the fuck
Just
up.
stop.
Just like
Stop
let
there.
the silence live.
Sit in the silence.
I'm not always great at that.
Yeah, I kind of love it.
Sitting in the silence?
I like it. If if it falls in the right time, if that makes sense. Like if you have if you have a good laugh, and then I love to like kind of like just sit and let the room kind of just settle
out.
And then sometimes if you can give them a little look, and then they'll go again and start laughing.
Like someone who I was just watching him recently just because I love him all the time is Nate Bargatze.
Yeah.
And he is so deliberate. Mm-hmm. And so is Mulaney.
Yeah.
Because Mulaney has his punches where he's like, I was walking down the street. And I'm like, okay, so like he says it that way every time. For me, I often say things in the same way, but I'll throw in extra words. I'll be like, I was walking down the busiest street.
Yeah.
And just throw that in.
Yeah.
Why?
Because sometimes we need to go a little adjective.
Yeah.
We need a good adjective.
I love a good adjective.
Throw it in there.
Yeah. Do people say Angie? Probably not.
I think they should.
Thank you.
I think they should.
Are you an abbrever?
Yeah. From time to time.
Okay.
From time to time, I am.
Would you be put off if someone came up to you and they were like, Lors, how goes it?
I would be like, oh, you're specific, and I love it.
Yo, you would?
Yes.
It
depends on it depends on the like extent to which the relationship would be. Like if I was like, had someone did that and I was like trying to date them, I would maybe be like, interesting.
Yellow flag.
Interesting, but open, but like, let's see.
Yellow flag.
Could be, but then at the same time, I don't know. I'm at a point in my life, I don't know what the fuck I want until it happens. And then I'm like, I think this is what I need.
I'm trying to think if I encountered some,
What?
I've encountered yellow flags, but I'm going to tell you, this was a yellow flag that turned red over time. This is from a long, long time ago. I think it was either in high school or college. I was dating this girl briefly, and I remember, I'll never forget the first time it happened. It blew me away. She was like, I called her. She's like, yeah, you should come over tomorrow. We can have a little play date. And I was like,
ooh.
What do you mean? She's like, just come play. And I was like, okay. So do you want to hang out tomorrow? And she's like, that's what I said. I'm like, uh-huh.
A play date.
Yeah. And so that happened probably 3 or 4 times over the course of like a few weeks. And I said something at one point.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, it's like it's throwing me. The word play date's kind of throwing me.
Of course.
And she was like, totally get it. I was like, thank you. Then like, I don't know how long we were together, maybe a couple months. And she just kept doing it. And finally, like when I hit my breaking point, things were already a little rough. I was like, oh my God, like we're not in kindergarten. Stop asking me to have a play date with you. What do you want me to get my mother a permission slip from her? Like, what are we doing? And she looked at me like I just broken her in two.
She's like,
She looked like she was on the verge of crying, and she's like, I just wanted to hang out. I was like, oh my God, then say that. We wouldn't be having this conversation. Yeah. I just wanted to play.
I just see it to play.
And I was just like, it seriously drove me. It was my telltale heart. I just heard it, and I was just like,
that would irk me. That gives me an ick. That gives me an ick. It immediately
full
gives
body
me
ick.
an ick.
Full body ick.
I get an ick too I was dating a guy a while back ago, and he kept calling the bathroom little boy's room.
Nope.
And it like the first time it was like,
I'm getting up to leave right now.
And then near the end, like he kept doing, and like he would do like right after he'd like finish having sex, he'd be like, I'm gonna go to little boy's room. I was like, you fucking, I can't. If
Did you say it though? Did you tell him like that's weird to me?
No. I just got to a point where I was like, I mean, there were so many other things. I was like, listen, like it's just like, but I was like but if I had probably hung out with him anymore, it probably would have like flung out at some point.
Yeah, you're like, listen, I woke up in the middle of the night and you were holding a bloody knife and your clothes were covered in blood, and that was enough for me. But more importantly, why do you call it the little boys' room? Like,
why?
You're a man.
You're a man.
Yeah.
It just grossed me out. I was like, that's fucking weird. Stop.
But was he doing it intentionally to gross you out?
No, I think that was like what he calls it. Like I don't know if
little
it was
LBR?
like some like little like.
I'm gonna hit the LBR. We'll see in a second. Worse?
I don't know.
Just as bad.
Honestly, better. That's to me more palatable than I'm gonna go to little boy's room. I'll be back. I was like, please don't come back. Just stay there.
I also find like when people tell me the exact detail of what's going to occur in there, I don't need that.
Same. Unless I'm like, if I'm hanging out with you and we're friends or whatever, like, and I'm like laughing or whatever, but like if I'm dating somebody and it's in the earlier stages, like don't.
Yeah, don't be like, hey, I got a big trip I got to go take.
Yeah.
I had a friend say that to me the other day, and I was like, I could have lived my entire life without knowing that you call taking a shit a big trip.
I know.
I honestly wouldn't have lost a wink of sleep.
I would have been fine.
Yeah.
Would have been fine.
Perfect.
Would have been fine.
Do you do any material about your dad on stage?
I do, yeah.
I don't think I've heard it.
I'm working through that. That's like some of my new stuff. That's the stuff I'm sandwiching. I've been talking about him for a while, but just like bringing him to like, depending upon the room and how the room feels and everything like that. Like I'll talk more about him depending upon like how I feel with the space and the crowd.
You're like, how do we feel about dead parents?
But it's one of those things, totally. It's like one of those things where it's just like, I feel like now I've gotten to a point where I can like navigate like the heavier stuff and then find a way to be able to like, but it definitely like changes the energy in the room a lot of times.
Yeah. I had a set that I haven't done in a really long time. It was all about it.
Yeah.
I just haven't done it because it's just like, I also need to be in a headspace where I want to do it.
Yeah. It was crazy. My last show, my last cult comedy show, I did like a long bit about my dad, and I never really talk about him, but like, especially there would not be the space. And I did like something that's been just more, I don't know if you write this way or if you're like a sit down
Absolutely
writer.
not. Never written in my life.
That's how I'm like, I just speak it out and then I'll like listen to it and fine tune it in my mind and everything like that and just guide it that way. But I was talking about how like, I used to watch porn like when I was little, I watched porn, and then my poor dad, when he passed, like I didn't tell my mom for the longest time that like I was the one watching porn. So like Charlie died and my mom was like, Charlie loved porn. He was addicted. And I was like, God, horrible, terrible. And then I finally told her, I was like, I was the one watching all the porn.
Are you ready for the lightning round?
Yeah.
So the lightning round is 5 fast questions. They do not at all have to be fast answers. In fact, we often gab about them.
Okay.
But these are the questions we end every episode with. And I put them on an index card because I do feel like I'd be a good talk show host.
You would be a fabulous one, Josh. You'd be killing it.
You know what? Call NBC. Let them know.
Hey,
or
NBC.
CBS or ABC. Question 1. What is a favorite ritual of yours? So mine is brewing tea. I love to do that.
Yes.
What would be one of yours?
Coffee.
In the morning?
Yeah.
What are we talking? Espresso?
Espresso. But it's with an espresso machine, so it's
I have an espresso right over there.
But I do my little Nespresso, and then I'll froth up the milk, and then I'll do I might do like, sometimes I'd love to do like, I'm obsessed with vanilla bean paste. I really like it.
Okay, so we have vanilla bean syrup.
Yes.
But vanilla bean paste is what I should be using?
Yeah, but I mean, I really like it because, have you ever seen people put like a little bit of vanilla, like a little dash of vanilla in like, they're like, sometimes they'll sometimes do it in the milk that you're going to do it with, or like your almond milk, whatever it's going to be. You do like a little dash of vanilla. So like vanilla bean extract, yes, is a little bit like that too. But I'll just do a little dash, and then I get like the vanilla beans in it, It's nice. I really like it. And
Oh
then
my
sometimes
gosh.
I'll even do like sometimes I'll do a syrup in there too.
So
and
we
then
have the
some cinnamon.
Torani. So
It's good.
but we should be doing instead vanilla bean extract.
I like it a lot.
Where do I get it?
love it. You can get it off Amazon. You can also get it just at the store too.
Oh, I know.
It's
I've
like
seen
with all the
vanilla
spices.
extract, but I've never seen vanilla bean.
I know.
Extract.
I hadn't really seen it in a while. Or you can get like vanilla bean paste. It's so good.
Yeah, we're gonna have to talk after this.
It's really delicious.
Question 2: what is a running bit you have with a friend or partner that makes you laugh?
Oh my God. So one of my best friends, she like loves designer stuff, but not in a snobby way by any means, but like some nice shit.
Yeah.
And we have a running bit that she loves Macy's. And so like we'll always all the time be like, Macy's one day, like all the time, Macy's sale, Macy's having a sale, like constant. It's one of my favorite bits.
I wonder, is Macy's still popular with anyone?
I don't think so. I think if you live like in middle America, I think Macy's is like somewhere you go. You know, I did at one point.
It's a destination.
It is. It's a spot. It's a spot. Not an ideal spot.
Well, no, I know when like the guys want to have a night out, we go to Macy's.
Yeah, that's where you find the men.
Yeah, that's what we do. We vibe out. We all have a good laugh. You know, just like look at the shirts. Yeah, it's fun.
Look at these shirts.
Look at these shirts.
And reasonably priced.
I know, and they all are.
They're always like a season off, though. I feel like they're always like a season late at Macy's.
Well, no, I usually buy my winter jackets in June. There, it seems to make sense.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah, it's feasible. Question 3: what is a controversial opinion that you have?
I prefer like over anything, which this is going to be triggering for you. But if I'm gonna have a burger, I want the patty thin. I want a smash burger. I don't want a thick. I don't want a thick patty. I want a thin patty.
Is that controversial?
I don't know. I think people like that. I think people like a nice thick patty. I want it. I want a fucking thin ass patty or nothing.
Okay, when you get a thinner patty,
I am so excited.
are you doing two? Like two smash?
No, honestly, I'll just take one. I'll take a light, thin piece of meat.
So is it safe to say, and I don't want to be so bold as to label you, but I'm
Yes.
going to, are you more of a condiment gal than you are the burger itself?
A bit, yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
For sure.
I love
But
a dipping
wanna,
sauce.
I want to be able to dip and do all the dippings and everything. Ooh, and I like my bacon burnt.
Burnt.
Burnt bacon. Burnt.
Interesting.
Need it like crispy.
I was
going
gonna
to
say, you want to be able to knock it on. Yeah.
Like I'll like look at them. I'm like, I want my extra crispy, like crispy to the point where you're like, ugh, should we serve this? Like that's what I want.
Do you ever tell a server that?
Yeah, I tell them that all the time.
And they're just like, I'm sorry, you want me to tell the chef we're not sure if we should actually serve this. It's that overcooked.
We got the thick applewood. I'm like, fucking fry that fucker up.
Yeah. When I used to eat meat, which it's been a very long time, but I actually preferred turkey bacon. That's controversial.
Yeah. And you know what? That one's a tough one because that one's tough to get crispy.
I agree.
It's tough. It's a work of art to get it crispy without like really fucking it up.
You ever make it you make it with water in the oven?
No.
Much crispier.
Interesting.
Yeah. You got to look it up. I don't remember exactly how it's done.
I'm gonna have to do that.
I think I don't prepare it. But I should. Question 4. Have you ever experienced imposter syndrome? And if so, is there one moment that really sticks with you?
Oh yeah, like all the time.
Is there one or you were just like, oh, no good? I definitely had one with at the Improv the other day in that meeting that you walked into. I was like, I should not be in this meeting.
Oh my God, you were amazing. You deserve to be in that meeting.
Thank you. You're very sweet.
I feel that way. Like every show that I book that has just like a decent. I'm trying to think of the last time I had it. I get it all the time, dude. All the time. I think when I post clips, I get it a lot.
Oh my God, why?
Because I get anxious. I don't like posting my clips. I don't know why. I always think I can get a better clip.
I've gone 2 years posting a clip every single week.
I need to start doing it.
Can I tell you something? I'm actually coming to a close, I think, soon.
Really?
Yeah, because I did it to see if I could.
Yeah.
And I did. And I'm proud of myself. And it did nothing for my following at all. And I was just like, cool. I did this for me and I'm proud of myself.
That's just great. Were there new clips, new bits every single time? Did you ever like recycle the bit and have like a better one?
There were reposts, but they didn't count. If there was a repost, I would do it on a different day.
Oh, interesting.
I would legitimately do a new clip, which unfortunately, I mean, yes, it yielded a lot of crowd work as one has to do because you don't have 104. Yeah. Wow. That was tiring. 104 new jokes.
Yeah.
You know, but like, I did it it's been over 2 years.
Yeah.
October 5th, I think, was the 2-year anniversary. Yeah. Did nothing. But like, you know,
yeah.
I don't feel imposter about that anymore. Like
did you when you first did though, were you like, Did you feel a little angst?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I definitely did. And I would be like, this isn't good enough, or does this suck, or I'm going to screw this up, or like, can we like trim this by a second, or can we do this? Can we do that? How do we make it better? But like,
Yellow text. I'm just kidding.
honestly, I played with what the captioning was. Like, I know you're joking, but
No,
absolutely,
it's true. No,
absolutely did that.
100%.
And I was so annoying about it. I was like, maybe we try like yellow. Maybe we try yellow with like a shadow.
And it's like, let's see it. They need to pop. Have them bounce.
Wait, so you feel that way every time you post a clip?
A little bit. I get a little anxious every single time. I get like sick to my stomach. I don't want to do it. I'm like, I get anxious.
Interesting. And you just don't feel like you're worthy of like...
Yeah, like I don't either feel like the clip's good enough or that it's going to go anywhere, it's going to do anything. Yeah, I'll do that. I definitely get imposter syndrome with that.
Interesting. Final question for you. It is, what is your favorite tea or comfort? So if you're not a big tea drinker, you can answer what's your favorite comfort. But I know you drink some tea.
I do like tea. There's this one that's like a black tea and it's vanilla almond, and I really like it.
Who makes it?
I think it's Republic of Tea.
Okay.
And I really, really like it a lot. I've drank it since college. I'm a big fan of it. I love it.
Can you text it to me?
I will. I really like it.
Yeah, I'll order that.
And then there was one I had just recently that I like, and it's non-caffeinated.
Hit me.
And it's I think from Republic of Tea again, and it's like a lemon cake, and it's delicious.
I'm sorry, you got my attention. Lemon cake?
Yes. I think it might be. It's non-caffeinated. Don't know what, like an herbal, maybe something. Yes, yes, I think that's it.
Rooibos comes from shrubs. It's a particular kind of shrub often grown in South Africa.
I'm drinking shrubs, and it's
I love rooibos.
It's delicious.
I have a lemon meringue tea.
See, I love that.
Yeah, it was good.
And that'd be delicious.
It was good, but yeah, I want to try your lemon cake. Text me that one too.
I will. It's delish.
That was the pod. How do you feel?
I love it. I need to know what your controversial belief is.
I have 50,000. I mean, pick one.
Tell me your favorite.
I think that any movie that is over 2 hours has suffered from a miss in editing, whether it was in the writing or the production. Nothing needs to be over 2 hours. I cannot think of a single movie that was over 2 hours where I go, this definitely needed every minute.
Yeah, 100%. Couldn't agree more.
That was Laurie Douglas. You can find her on Instagram and TikTok at laurie.douglas. Steep Conversations is produced and edited by Martin Alvarez. Our theme song and additional music are by Oliver Hymack. Our cover art was done by Neil Fraser with photography by Matt Mazisco. Social media by Dia Villegas. Please write a review and rate our podcast on Apple Podcasts and wherever else you can. You can send any questions, comments, newly friend game suggestions, or tea suggestions to steepcombos@gmail.com or tweet us at steepcombos. I'm Josh Lanzette, and you can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook at Josh Lanzette. We'll be back next week, so until then, happy steeping.
Can you edit that out?
I think we got to keep it now. I think we're going to leave it. Can we, in the edit, just to make a note, repeat that. Make it so she coughed 4 or 5 times in a row.